It is the last episode of 2023 in Star Powered Podcast. And today I want to share with you the 5 astrological transits for entrepreneurs, changemakers, and leaders that I have my eye and heart on in 2024 so you can make your mark. Welcome to Star Powered Astrology for Changemakers. I'm Leslie Tagorda, your guide, a Hawaii-born Filipino Jewish astrologer who loves navigating visionaries like you through the spiritual journey of your work so that you can be inspired to lead by your chart and become the luminary leader you were born to be. Hello, luminaries. Whew, we made it. The final episode of 2023. And wow, what a ride it's been. I'm recording this on December 20th, the day before solstice, because the office is closing after solstice. But I wanted to make sure that this little love nugget of astrology falls into your ears before the year ends. I'm recording this right after I had the most beautiful, like really truly beautiful solstice ceremony with some of the new members and the early bird members that signed up for Star Powered Circle. And one of the beautiful things about this, like this eye and the heart and the solstice, that I just want to remind us all is that I hope that you are carving out some sacred space of nothingness. We were pulling cards from Asher Frost's deck, my favorite deck, one of my favorite decks, the Sacred Medicine Oracle deck. The themes kept on repeating itself of the things that we needed to integrate during this sacred solstice time. Even though this is coming after solstice, we're still in that energy of void, of hibernation, of spaciousness. And so, as you're listening to these 5 astrological transits that I have my eye on, at this time, I want you to really feel into your body and feel into your heart and feel into your soul of the things that you need to release, that you need to let go of, that you get to decide that you're just absolutely done with, so that you can make yourself ready to receive all of the wonderful things that are coming up for us, spiritual leaders and change makers. Now, I know that we have all already been feeling the energies that are coming up in 2024. I know that you've been feeling that the call to go past your fears, go past your stuckness, go past all of the inner obstacles that you may have to really shine bright and contribute as a true leader, sharing your voice, connecting to your values, connecting to your opportunities and people, no matter where you are on that spectrum of, going all in, but facing obstacles, or feeling completely stuck in place, too afraid to take that first step. We all have things that we are ready to let go, we're ready to recognize in our wisdom, and ready to take those quantum leaps into the leadership that we are all being asked for to step into in 2024. So, before we get started into those 5 things that I have my eye and heart on, I want to invite you to the Vision Star Lab. And so Vision Star Lab is going to be on Thursday, January 18th, and it is a 90-minute workshop where you are going to star chart your mastery, breakthrough, and expansion in 2024. Now, this Star Lab, this workshop, is specifically for people who consider themselves agents of change. If you're in Star Powered Circle, you already get this. But if you haven't been able to commit to Star Powered Circle for whatever that reason, and you still want to go in this Vision Star Lab, this is your invitation. So in Vision Star Lab, we're going to star chart your mastery by Saturn, your breakthrough by Uranus and Jupiter, that meetup that happens in 2024, and then also your expansion, so that you can have really clear insight where you need to focus your energies to rise up to the challenges, to master, to work through your fears, to break free, and to do the easeful impactful work to expand in 2024, all according to your natal chart. Now, if you've already written your goals and your intentions, likely those are going to shift because Mercury retrograde isn't over. But if you're super clear on your goals and your intentions, I want you to start connecting those dots to understanding where you need to master, break through, and expand in your chart. So we're going to take the guesswork out of goal setting. We're going to connect your goals to the bigger picture. We're going to figure out where you need to focus and rise up to your challenges. We're going to figure out you need to expand and exceed your expectations. And we're also going to tune in to where you need to break free and take those quantum leaps into playing big. So if you're interested in this 90-minute workshop, head on over to my website, starpower.com. It's right on the homepage. If you are, an executive, a mover, and a shaker wanting to know everything about next year, then you can also add on everything. So you can strategize and design your year ahead for ease and impact. And what I mean by everything is you get a one-on-one reading with me, you get a personalized seasonal calendar with all of your important dates. You get your a customized almanac and timeline. You get your personal dates for opportunities and challenges. You get this strategic action plan workshop, as well as a written action plan for you. So that's also on the homepage. So if you want it all and you are a mover and shaker ready to harness all of the opportunities in 2024 with personalized insight from me, then head on over to starpower.com and sign up for that. There are only 5 spots for that, and they already have times allotted. So as you register, you're already picking that time because there's only 5 spots available in 2024 in that first month of January. So head on over to starpower.com. Okay, let's dive in to the 5 things, the 5 astrological aspects that I have my mind, my spirit, my heart on for 2024. This is going to be, I'm always looking at the natal chart specifically for how can we show up better? How can we move past our fears to be a leader? No matter, no matter if you're already a leader, you're always continually working on things to sharpen your leadership, to make a bigger impact, to make your mark. So wherever you are, if you're just starting out and ready to share your wisdom, or you're already an executive speaking on stages but want to make a bigger impact, these are the 5 energy shifts that I want you to be aware of and really harness in 2024. Because of next year and the conjunction of Aries and the North Node, which is actually one of them, I've been really looking at the energy that's coming forth as changing the faces of leadership. Again, not changing the face of leadership, but changing the faces of leadership. Because what I'm seeing as just the biggest overall theme in 2024 is that we are at the rise of evolutionary leadership, circular leadership, collective leadership, and unity consciousness. What I mean by that, in short, is that every one of us is coming together to do our part, that leadership is no longer top down, but going back to the wisdom traditions of so many indigenous cultures where leadership is in circle, where we all have our gifts, we all have our advice, and we come together to do what is good for the collective, what is good for Mother Earth, and what is good to protect the waters, women, and children. The waters, women, and children. I've been talking about this for a while, but it's coming even more, it's rising even more clearly that there's a direct connection in how we treat women, children, and our waters, and how the health of our planet and the health of us as humanity. So, noticing that we are all here to really be the protectors of women. When I say women, maybe I can just of humanity, but specifically because the people that we harm the most, women and non binary people, how we need to bring that together, the most vulnerable people, and really protect them. Because when we protect the most vulnerable people, we are creating infrastructure that protects us all. When we protect our waters, our waters are our wisdom, our knowledge, our healing, then the waters can do what they do naturally to hold that memory of wisdom and bring it forth instead of getting wasted away through pollution and mismanagement and misuse. Now, I know I just threw you into the deep end with some like really high level things about what we are contributing into the world for 2024. But I also want you to realize that you as an individual have your part in this bigger story. So, that theme for 2024, I am calling collective leadership through awakened unity consciousness. You have your part, and we are all waking up to how we need to come together to do this great work. So, one of the things that I want you to do when I share these 5 highlights is I want you to look at your natal chart. I want you to mark where the degree points are in your natal chart. I want you to see what houses are being activated for you. I want you to see if there's any natal planets that are being aspected by these little pressure points. When we have these kinds of activations, and I'm only choosing my top 5, when we have these little like activations in the sky, making kind of like little pinpoints on our natal chart, you can think of these as like little acupuncture points in your natal chart. If you've ever done acupuncture before, you know that where they put those needles in those like little meridians where energy is stagnant or blocked or needs to flow through. And so similarly with the astrology, whether these be eclipse points or meetup points between Jupiter and Taurus, or retrograde points. These essentially are a little acupuncture pressure points that are releasing energy and allowing energies to move. And so, as you think about these 5 highlights and thinking about how you want to apply them into your natal chart, think about these highlights as an opening of a new way of being, where that energy carries forth because now you have a new consciousness, a new understanding, a new opening, a new way of being because of these 5 aspects. Of course, there are way more aspects, but I'm going to cover the 5 that mean the most to us entrepreneurs, change makers, and leaders. Now, again, if you're in Star Powered Circle or if you sign up for that Vision Lab, you are going to get this full report of what's up in the stars next year. So if you want this, you head on over to starpower.com and you'll get these 5 things plus more. Okay. The first thing that I have my eyes and heart on happens on February 19th, exact, but it's already starting to build up. And this is the meetup between Chiron and the North Node as they meet up in Aries at 16 degrees. Both Chiron and North Node are currently in Aries. They're getting closer and closer and closer as the North Node moves in retrograde. Chiron is moving forward, and they finally meet in February 19th. And to me, the theme of Chiron and the North Node is healing collective leadership. And the question to me that this meetup is asking all of us leaders is, how do you need to awaken to your new cycle of collective leadership? Looking back on the ways that you've been leading, the ways that you want to improve upon, the ways that you want to let go of, and what you're looking to build in the future. Who are you leading with? Who are the people that you are gathering? What is the kind of impact that you are making? Now, Chiron is the process to heal in others what we can't heal in ourselves. And through this last quarter in Star Powered Circle, we've been diving deep in the Chiron process and how it impacts our offers and our leadership by getting really curious and going really deep with understanding how Chiron, our natal Chiron, works in our lives and what it has shown us through our challenges and our, our healing journeys of the wisdom that we have to offer others. And so Chiron is massively important in your leadership, in your work, even if you're not exactly doing what you think Chiron should be doing. Chiron is that underlying current, that pattern, that question that you are looking to resolve that really adds meaning into your leadership and why you do the work that you do. And then North Node, the collective North Node, as it moves backwards through Aries over the next, still, I think, like 12 months. The North Node represents our collective stretch, our collective soul's purpose. And in Aries, it doesn't mean like selfishness or battling and like being headstrong. To me, that North Node in Aries is asking us to find our own personal best, to know that this is inter interdependence, not independence, to be able to take personal risks and move beyond our own personal fears, move beyond the shadows of Aries and into the light, the highest vibrations of Aries. And so when these two energies come together, just like the new moon, when two planets meet up, we are creating a new cycle. Chiron, healing, Aries, North Node, soul's purpose to lead. Henceforth, a new cycle of collective leadership. What do you need to heal in yourself so that you can take lead? And so in this aspect that is opening up for us, this new cycle, I want you to dismantle. I want you to resist the urge to be fearful of leading. Yes, you have something to contribute. I want you to let go and resist feeling shame about your wounds and your challenges and your vulnerabilities, because your vulnerabilities are your strengths. I want you to dismantle hiding and denying in your strengths because you have so much to offer. And I want you to bust out, bust the move. I want you to get unstuck from victim mode, from martyrdom, from unintentionally, unconsciously hurting others, and the need to have to control and fix everything. Those are absolutely all the shadows of this Chiron and North Node that we're being asked to bring recognition and awareness to so that we can dismantle and release them, so we can make space. The energy is ripe for you to know exactly what your power is and how you're meant to lead. I want you to really see your wounds and challenges as the gifts that you're meant to contribute, that your vulnerabilities are what make you authentic and powerful and ripe for leadership. I want you to be able to take a stand, to be seen and recognized. And I want you to practice consent. When you practice consent and only help and assist and heal those that are asking for help, where your assistance, where your leadership, where your healing is given permission, that is when you do the true work of Chiron through consent. Okay, so that question for the 5 things, number one, Chiron North Node meeting up at Aries of 16 degrees. Find that Aries of 16 degrees of your chart and ask yourself, how do you need to awaken your new cycle of collective leadership? Okay, number 2 aspect that is happening happens on April 8th, and it still has to do with Chiron, and that is our Aries eclipse, an Aries solar eclipse where the sun, the moon, and Chiron all meet up at Chiron of 19 degrees. So this is absolutely an echo of that North Node Chiron meeting up. And to me, this echo is now saying, okay, you've looked at, you've recognized, you've brought awareness to how you want to go do it. Now it's time to take action with daring leaps into your awakened leadership. So, this eclipse is a North Node eclipse, a quantum leap into your highest purpose. How do you need to take daring leaps into your vulnerable leadership? So, this is putting your awareness into action, taking action to be your best self, to trailblaze, to be courageous, to put your needs first, but still help others, and to truly do your Chiron leadership to heal and lead in others what others can't heal and lead and see in themselves through consent. So, with this, I want you to let go of, dismantle, and resist the urge to keep up with the status quo. No, my friend, you're meant to go your own way. I want you to, again, stop hiding in your shames and your secrets. I want you to stop upholding systems that prevent humanitarian ideals. Stop upholding systems that promote greed and start upholding systems that are good for all. And I also want you to stop supporting systems of internalized personal and political oppression. Hear those stories where they come from. They are not your stories. Stop oppressing them on yourself. Okay. The things that I want you to do, I want you to start your revolution through your own healing. Even if you've been on this revolution, it's time to reignite that flame and restart it. I want you to do the deep emotional dive into your wonderful differences because what the differences of who you uniquely are, that's the Aries and Aquarius. Aquarius is coming back with that Pluto, is what this world needs. We don't need clones. Then I also want you to reform and change based on equity and humanity. We are done with, even though we're putting ourselves first and being our very best, we're doing away with doing things that are only good for ourselves. Okay. And lastly, this energy of awakened leadership is ripe for you to empower your individuality, equality, as well as calling in and being a leader for your community. Okay, number 3, big leaps happen with Jupiter and Uranus when they meet up at Taurus of 22 degrees exact on 420, April 20, 2024. So Jupiter and Uranus meet up about every 13 years or so, and this time they're meeting up at Taurus of 22 degrees. Now, this is an exact date, so we're going to be feeling this as Jupiter gets closer and closer to Uranus at the beginning of the year in the early spring, climaxing at April 20th. And to me, this is a giant leap. And because it's in an earth sign, this is a giant leap towards Taurian, earthy practicality, our physical resources, and what we value. And so, this big leap of Jupiter and Uranus meeting up is asking you, how do you need to accelerate and upgrade what you value? Now, you know that Jupiter, that process is to expand, to grow, to believe, to use gratitude to keep that highest level of expansion and to magnify because Jupiter is pretty indiscriminate in terms of like what it's going to magnify. So you got to use that gratitude to only amplify what's the very best because it can also amplify what's the worst. And Jupiter reminds you that you can exceed your own expectations. Then Uranus is the process of sudden change, of taking quantum leaps, meaning that they're not linear leaps of A, B, and C. You can go straight from zero to 100 and beyond in an innovative breakthrough. So when Jupiter and Uranus, both very similar energies to go fast and go big, this is that energy that allows us to take launch, not just to take flight. In previous Jupiter Uranus meetups, the humans learned to fly in airplanes. Humans learned to cross the atmosphere into space for space explorations. Humans learned to create a world wide web to share information globally within nanoseconds. These are the types of big leaps that are possible with humanity when Jupiter and Uranus meet up. And in Taurus and Earth sign, we can expect some leaps in money, leaps in taking care of the earth, leaps in technology that again are based on Earth. Thinking about technology and earth based technology, and we saw some ripples of this back when the North Node was transiting Taurus. And this is really showing us that we have to come back to reuse ancient technologies of protecting the earth and managing earth resources and seeing these ancient technologies as new. That is revolution. To see them in a new perspective, that they still have tried and true sustainable meaning because they sustained people for eons before we came into the last few thousand years of imperialism, patriarchy, capitalism, and all the things that have been doing such injustice to people as well as our environment. So may this Jupiter Uranus in Taurus be that big leap so that we can protect our earth. And you, as an individual and a leader, this is your chance to let go and dismantle, again, keeping up with the status quo in terms of like buying things, over consuming things, just grabbing onto things just to have them. That's that consumerism status quo, throwing it out the door. This is also about dismantling, about not investing yourself, even if finances seem uncertain. Now, money, I know for all of us, is very, very unpredictable right now. It can feel really, really scary. And so it can make us just want to stop spending. Maybe we're like even denying receiving income at some energetic level. But when we're not consciously reinvesting in ourselves and what we value truly, we're stopping the energetic flow of finances, of that energetic exchange of value. And so please continue investing in what is valuable to you. Now, the thing that I also want you to dismantle is upholding beliefs that prevent change. That's right. Change is the constant. We have to change because we have shifted, we have evolved. And so if you're constantly like pushing against change, you're not doing your work to evolve. And then dismantling, not doing your part to protect Mother Earth. If you're still buying bottled water, if you're still purchasing things from Nestle, those are the two easy things that you can do to protect Mother Earth. Nestle is atrocious at stealing water, at breaking down environmental, so many things. That's just like my number one thing. And then also water bottles. Nobody needs plastic water bottles. Unless you're in an emergency, do not purchase plastic water bottles. Carry a canteen with you, carry a metal canister with you, get a reusable water bottle. Please do not buy bottled water unless you are in some kind of urgent emergency. Okay, the things that this energy is ripe for with Jupiter and Uranus meeting up at Taurus of 22 degrees is to take big leaps. Get ready, let go of all that baggage, lighten your load so you can take those quantum leaps. It is also time to upgrade your finances and resourcing for sustainable growth. Again, head back to your values about your personal values, your financial resources, especially when it comes to education, community, land, and food. So environment and how we nourish ourselves. Okay, number three thing that I want you to do in this energy is to up level your ability to change and take flight. What fears do you need to overcome so that you can go into those quantum leaps with emotional security? There's nothing guaranteed in this world except your ability to take leaps if you fall, to get right back up, and to know that you are your source of emotional security. Number four thing that you can do with this Jupiter Uranus meetup is to create and make massive progress in environmental protections. Do what you can do to invest in water protectors, land protectors, protecting, women's and children's rights, people who BIPOC people, queer people, all the people that are generally left underestimated. The more we can add protections and support for all of all of these underserved people, the more we can protect our earth for all. Okay, number 4, we are on to Jupiter speeding through Taurus and moving into Gemini. And this happens on May 25th, where Jupiter will stay a little over a year until June 29th. The last time that Jupiter was in Gemini was June 11th, 2012 to June 25th, 2013. So look back to your calendars and your journals to 2012 to 2013 and hear and feel into some of those themes of Jupiter in Gemini. Likely you'll be experiencing some of those energetic themes again. The big theme for Jupiter in Gemini is to amplify your engagement, meaning engagement of Gemini to speak, to create dialogue, to cross pollinate and share information. Gemini is a very social sign, meaning it wants to share information and knowledge, not to gossip, but to create dialogue, to create understanding. So, the question that you want to answer for this year ahead of Jupiter in Gemini is, how do you need to magnify your dialogue? So Jupiter again, expand, exceeds expectations. Gemini, to cross pollinate, to communicate, to share information, to be curious, to be playful and youthful through writing, speaking, all of those Gemini ways. So for sure, dismantle waiting for things to be perfect before sharing. This goes to your writing, to your speaking, to finding your voice, and instead get clear on your message and your philosophy so you can go sharing that. To get clear is to iterate on it, to do it over and over and over again. And even when you think you have it perfectly, you're going to shift and it's going to change again. So if you're waiting for it to be perfect, guess what? It's never going to be perfect. So start getting clear and iterate on your message. I want you to stop staying silent or disorganized because this is time to find your voice. This is time to organize your thoughts and your thought leadership and to share your work and your wisdom through writing or speaking. If you've ever been thinking about writing a book or starting that blog or starting that podcast, this is your time. Now, stop thinking that you have nothing of value to add or say. I know that this is a key for a lot of us. I want you to reframe that and believe in your one of a kind thoughts. Everything has been said before. There's thousands of astrologers, but there's not a single astrologer that says things exactly like I do. Even though I've learned from so many amazing astrologers, I still put my own spin on it, and so can you. Lastly, as Jupiter is in Gemini, stop keeping what you know to yourself and start teaching and sharing your wisdom. Do not be afraid that other people will steal it, although there are some dubious people that do steal things. It's more important to share and teach your wisdom. Okay, final thing that I have my eye on is Pluto entering Aquarius once and for all. Now, we had a taste of this, a foreshadow of this in the beginning of 2023 when Pluto dipped its toes into Aquarius. And in 2024, Pluto will enter Aquarius and it's going to go back into Capricorn for just a little bit, those final degrees, that last 29 degrees of Capricorn. And then it's going to leave Capricorn forever, at least forever in our lifetimes and probably our great great grandchildren's lifetimes. How many generations exist in like 260 something years? I'm not sure. But Pluto, as it enters in Aquarius, leaves Capricorn, is asking you to regenerate your revolution, to make it alive again, to rebirth it again, to add power to it again. And that revolution, what is the social impact? What is that social value that you want to have? Who do you want to have with you? And so the question to really bring to the fore is, how do your social structures, the people that you surround yourself with, the people that help you live up to your own social values, where do you connect with people both online and off? How do these social structures need to regenerate? Generally, there's parts that have really gotten unhealthy or need to be let go and surrendered to so that you can rebirth these new social structures. We're going through a 20-year period with, once Pluto enters Aquarius for the final time, on when does on at the very end of 2024, on November 19th, 2024, Pluto leaves Capricorn for the very, very last time and remains in Aquarius until 2043, a whole 20 years. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius was between 1778 and 1798. And look at how society and industry has changed in all of those revolutions that happened at that time. Can we expect the same? Probably something similar. So, what role will you have? So, this is your opportunity to let go and dismantle. Again, keeping up with the status quo. That Aquarius, that Pluto, that status quo is that absolutely the shadow of Aquarius. It's time to stop hiding secrets and your deepest shames, especially when it comes to community and networking. It's time to stop upholding systems that prevent humanitarian ideals. Again, Aquarius is very much for the people, very much for the future, very much for everybody has equal rights. We need to bring in more equity. And it's time to stop upholding systems of personal and political oppression within ourselves. Can you hear the echoes between all of these energies? And instead, over the next 20 years, as we explore into Pluto, I want you to start your revolution within yourself through your own deep personal healing and your social circles. I want you to do those emotional deep dives into your wonderful differences and extract all the ways that have held you back, all of the bad behaviors that you have created within yourselves. We all have them, okay? I want you to reform and change based on equity and humanity and really see how you are part of the human experience, that we are all equals here. And I want you to reframe how you empower yourself individually, how you empower others, and how you empower your community. You have your part, my friend. So let's bring forth and revolutionize and regenerate change, innovation, society, technology, the future with this Aquarian energy over the next 20 years. We're going to see a lot of technology get topsy-turvy. So starting to think about returning to primal technologies like your intuition, that nobody can ever take from you. So I shared my 5 things, but I want to leave us with this last aspect. As Saturn deepens its course into Pisces, Saturn will remain in Pisces all of next year, and Saturn is about mastery. Saturn is about how can we prioritize, how can we focus, how can we crystallize, how can we mature and commit to the long term and to rise up to challenges. Saturn is not always easy, but Saturn shows us with some effort what we can do and what we can create mastery. So as Saturn deepens into Pisces of spirituality, of compassion, intuition, wisdom, transcendence, ease, flow, bliss, Saturn is asking all of us to be more masterful in our inner wisdom, to pause and make space to go inward, to reflect, to commit to our own spiritual growth and emotional well being, to crystallize our understanding of our inner sagedom and our inner wisdom, to set emotional boundaries with compassion and empathy, especially with ourselves. And again, the theme of protecting water, children, women, and those that don't identify as strictly masculine. This is what we need to do to protect Mother Earth. And this is what Saturn is asking us, to deepen our inner wisdom, to protect our inner waters: water, knowledge, knowing, wisdom. That is our call that we have to sustain through 2024. It is going to give us our ability to crystallize and rise to the challenges that we need to move through in 2024 as we move along the path of our awakened collective leadership. All right, my friends, thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy and your space with me this year. May these 5 astrological aspects coming up in 2024 serve you and to give you that guiding light of what we're all building and creating in 2024. Until next year, it's been such a pleasure to serve you. I'm Leslie Tagorda, and if I've touched your life in any way, may you consider creating a little review for me and this podcast and Star Powered Podcast on Apple Podcasts, so that more people like you can hear this wisdom. Bye for now. As a human design projector, my energy shines more brightly because of people like you who share my work. If you enjoy this podcast and want to help build a movement of innovative astrology and leadership and spark the intuitive revolution, please rate and review this podcast on Apple Podcasts, or better yet, share this podcast with your change-making besties. We will all shine brighter together as we create the future we want to see.